Hello, fellow YouTubers, and welcome to the 100th episode of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. I almost forgot the name. That would have been very embarrassing. But on the last episode, we managed to trap Marshall by finding out that he did not know that it was his fingerprints, or that he could have opened up that gate because he threw his bloody coat in it. And so we kind of trapped him with that he had to be there, and he was Goodman. And so now he's about to confess to it. Man, 100 episodes, really? God. I thought this was only going to last, like, in the 70s. We didn't start Case 5 until episode 71. But, God, we've been playing this case for 30 episodes already? We're not even done with it yet. But
I had to do it that day. I just couldn't stand by and let it die. I stole the detective's ID and dressed like him. I planned to take out the evidence. I wasn't expecting Officer Beacons. I knocked him out and managed to escape. I knew what areas would be caught in the camera. There wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5:15.
so, the supposed victim was really you.
But there's one thing I still don't understand. Large quantities of blood traces were found on the floor of the evidence room. If no one was murdered, then how could that be? Officer Makins managed to cut his own hand. My guess is he's the donor.
It looked like too much blood for that. Alright, so he just confessed. That was very quick. But we have to cross-examine this. Now, unlike other things, we're not going to present anything in the moment. We're going to press every single statement he did. So, I had to do it that they just couldn't stand by and let it die. Why? I mean, we kind of know why. When you say it, you mean...
Do you even have to ask, partner?
Vessel 9 incident.
2 years have passed since that case was closed. It was going to completely end with the transferal that day. Not if I have anything to do with it. That incident's not over.
But what did you hope to accomplish by sneaking into the evidence room? I'm so glad I managed to get that right.
When our case is closed, only the detective who was in the charge of it can look through the evidence. I wanted to have a look at it myself one more time. No matter what the cost. I don't care what anyone says, partner. That case is mine.
But Officer Marshall wasn't in charge of that investigation. Why does he care so much about it?
That day was my last chance. That's why
Okay, so he's really invested in this case. Why? Why did you disguise yourself as Detective Goodman?
And if I didn't make it look like Goodman was carrying out the evidence transferal, I'd be arrested for stealing evidence, which wouldn't get me anywhere. So you did it to fool the security camera.
And the detective's ID card?
Poor judge. I stole that the morning of the incident.
So that really was why Goodman started filling out that lost item report. I'm so happy I'm getting these sentences finished before they actually appear. Makes me feel happy.
I returned his ID card. Left it on the floor in the prosecutor's office parking lot.
The ID card I found was left there by Officer Marshall. It explains why I was so far away from the car.
So, essentially, you managed to succeed despite your lack of foresight. What do you mean, partner? I mean the fingerprint-activated lock, of course. No matter how well you disguise yourself, you can't change your fingerprints. Normally, that locker shouldn't have opened.
So it opened because a rubber glove was stuck in the door by chance? Then Detective Goodman must have opened the locker before Officer Marshall. Oh yeah, that one I screwed up on.
I wasn't
Why am I reading this over? Alright, so why he was expecting Officer Meekins. You pulled a knife on Officer Meekins to try to drive him off? Not the smartest idea.
Let's just say I was a little surprised. I only planned on being in the evidence room for no more than 5 minutes. I didn't think anyone would actually come in during that short time.
Officer Meekins certainly is a one-in-a-million type of person. Mistaking a detective for an intruder and demanding to be shown his ID.
I'll have to think a little more about his raise this year.
When did Edgeworth get so much influence? Wait, what does he mean? That he's gonna raise it up because he found the perpetrator? Or lower it because he's a bumbling idiot? In which case, it's already February, you're gonna lower salary now?
Anyway, he threw himself at me, and I ended up cutting him slightly. I'm sorry it had to turn out that way. With me knocking him out and everything.
By the way, what happened to your knife?
Oh, you mean this one?
I don't know what to say. I like him just bringing his knife.
So, what happened next?
Okay, so everything so far is falling into place. The only thing that we don't know is why is he so invested in the SL9 case? So you did your research beforehand.
Those who go into the desert unprepared don't live long, partner. I didn't think it would make a difference, though. The security tape is erased every 6 hours. If all gone as planned, no footage would have been left. However, you bloodied your coat in your struggle with Officer Meekins. If someone was in the security room when I came out, the jig would have been up. I opened my locker and stashed it in there.
What was Officer Meekins doing during that time?
What else? He was sleeping like a baby.
So, what you're saying is, on that day... So, it wasn't a murder, which doesn't help us. But the blood found at the scene certainly indicates a crime took place.
What are you, blind? The victim shown on that tape is me, and I'm not dead yet, partner. So, you stole the evidence from the locker? Actually, no, I didn't. Why not? When I opened the locker, the evidence was already gone.
What? Mr. Edgeworth, where is that evidence?
It's still missing, Your Honor.
Detective Goodman's locker was already empty. Someone else stole the evidence. Well then, who could that be? Officer Marshall, may I ask you one thing?
Fire away, partner. It's a free country. And just remember, I'm also free to decide whether or not to answer.
Why did you do this? Stealing a detective's ID? Injuring a police officer? This is no small offense.
Moreover.
Moreover. Is that right? Moreover. Okay, moreover.
You're an officer yourself. This will have serious consequences. It can't just be forgiven with a simple cut in salary.
When did who gave him the ability to change people's salaries? Not that salary cuts are ever a valid solution. Thank you, Phoenix.
Like I said, this isn't your case. This one is mine. And I'll do anything it takes to get an answer I'm satisfied with.
The witness has an unusual amount of zeal. Let's hear more.
I can't just forget the SL9 incident. You know why?
So, something about the SL9 incident is very personal to Marshall. So, on this statement, we would present the SL9 files. But let's find out exactly what makes this so personal before we actually take a look, because it'll give us a little bit of a... Jesus, I'm already on the 4th page! It'll give us some clues as to what exactly went on. So, incident number SL9, it's closed. Criminal Joe Dark, crime serial murderer, sentences death. Victims, Edward Jones, Jason Knight, Edith Kirby, Rachel Moss, Jeb Bates, and Neil Marshall. Well, I think we found our link right there. Trial data, head prosecutor Miles Edgeworth, witnesses Lana Skye and Emma Skye. So they are both witnesses. And that's where Emma comes in. Executive investigators Damon Gant and Lana Skye, head investigator Bruce Goodman, and investigators Jake Marshall and Angel Starr. Every single person we've talked to in this episode, other than the judge who's not listed on here, and Meekins, who I would not put him in charge of anything at all, and Gumshoe, he was not on here either. But let's present that. Officer Marshall, I think I understand. I think I know why you care so much about the SL9 incident.
Sounds like you've been sipping too much cactus juice, partner.
Well, it is the quenchiest. I have the SL9 incident file here. The name Marshall is mentioned in here. In a list of murder victims. Neil Marshall. Are you related to this man?
Neil Marshall? Yeah, I'm sure you've heard the name. 2 years ago.
A color photo.
He received the same lousy prosecutor award you got.
What? A prosecutor? He must be talking about the King of Prosecutors Award.
Now I remember. Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He handled the SL9 case before I did. That's right. He was killed. And the case fell into your hands.
But what's his relation to you? Jeez, Judge. It doesn't take a lawyer to find out what this means.
He was my brother. He was investigating the murders with Damon Gant, chief detective at the time. The group of detectives I was part of worked under them.
Which explains the mysterious hat person that we never mentioned at all in the bottom left.
We were desperate to prosecute the killer. Joe Dark.
That's our first actual look at him. Jesus.
My brother fought Dark and was killed. That was the first time Dark left behind any evidence. That was all we needed. He was arraigned and incarcerated. The case was finally closed. At least, according to the public records.
What do you mean?
My brother couldn't have been killed by Joe Dark. I knew my brother better than anyone. No one could have beaten him in a fight. And that's it. That's your reason for your insane actions? There's more to my brother's death than what the records say. No matter how much you try to hide it, You can't fool me.
Well, at least one thing's for certain. Now we know what happened at the police department on the day of the crime.
That was the last day the SL9 case could be reopened. Not satisfied with its resolution, Officer Marshall planned to steal the evidence.
Disguising himself as Detective Goodman, he entered the evidence room. Officer Meekins confronted him, so he rendered him unconscious and fled.
Yes, this mystery has finally been cleared up. No murder took place at the police department that day. The things that happen by chance never cease to amaze. At exactly the same time as the murder at the prosecutor's office, this fake murder was going on at the police department.
Chance? It's got to be more than just that. So, if no one was murdered at the police department on the day of the crime, that means the murder in the prosecutor's office parking lot was the real one.
Which, in turn, means only one person could have committed the crime. Chief Prosecutor Lana Skye.
But wait! A verdict wasn't reached in yesterday's trial!
Which is why we examine the incident at the police department today.
But
there's only one reason the defendant was not convicted yesterday. There yet remain the mystery of the simultaneous murder at the police department. It seems to me this boy's got the draw on you, partner. All the mysteries at the police department have been uncovered. No contradictions remain. The murder took place at the prosecutor's office. The only suspect is Lana Skye. There were no errors in the testimony of the witness, Angel Starr. If you have a response, make it one word or less.
ah, nice response.
I rest my case.
What's Emma doing there? How many times has she been there? It seems the trial has reached its conclusion. There's no room for doubt.
Well done, Mr. Wright. Thanks to you, I didn't need to waste my time disproving the alleged murder at the police department.
There's no doubt what I proved today is true. The apparent murder on the security camera's tape really was fake. But I didn't realize that would end up proving Lana guilty. Now then, the time for the verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant. Your Honor, wait! Okay, there's Emma. But I think I said last episode that we were gonna finish the trial today. We're already at 19 minutes. We probably have another 10 or something minutes left before we get to the end. So I think we're gonna split it here and call it an episode. So on the next episode of Phoenix Wright, I can't believe it's already been 100 episodes and we're still going on. We will be finishing off the trial date before heading off to investigation again, because there's no way we're gonna solve this case in the next 10 minutes. But we have to find out why Emma's taking the stand. So, until next time, hopefully you enjoy. Oh god, that's a brute. Okay, well, we just sent Tally to go help Captain Riley. So she's not with us right now. Luckily that brute was pretty easy with a full particle rifle at level 5 with a full incendiary upgrade on it. Oh, there's another Marauder there. I thought that was another brute for some reason.